Hi, welcome to my outdoor kitchen. My name is Renee. Welcome to the Patria Rose Homestead. Today I am making a pumpkin cake with caramel sauce and homemade cream cheese frosting. So, who doesn't love a pumpkin dessert in the fall? Here I have 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ginger, quarter teaspoon of nutmeg, 1 teaspoon of homemade vanilla, but you can use regular store-bought vanilla, and 1 cup of milk or buttermilk, whatever you have on hand. I didn't have buttermilk today, so today I'm doing regular milk. Here I have 2 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of molasses, 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 3 eggs, 2 sticks of butter or 1 cup, and 2.5 cups of flour. Okay, so first we're going to take our 2 sticks of butter and cream them with the sugar, maple syrup, and molasses. It is so hot today, I am cooking this outside. Alright, so after the butter, molasses, and maple syrup and sugar are blended, I'm going to add 3 eggs. We have farm fresh eggs, so we do check them before we dump them in the mixture. I'm going to give it a scrape down. Smells like fall in here. It smells delicious. If you didn't have a kitchen egg, you could surely mix it by hand or mix it with a hand mixer. Add in the 1 3/4 cup pumpkin. And it's the pumpkin puree, it's not the pumpkin pie pumpkin. With the puree, you add your own spices. All right. So the 2.5 cups of flour. I'm going to add my vanilla in there. And here again, it's the 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons of 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of ginger, quarter teaspoon of nutmeg. I put that all into my flour. And then I whisk it, give it a little pre-mix, so I know it's evenly distributed. And then we'll start adding a little at a time. It's getting a little thick, so I'm going to go ahead and add my milk. It's just normal whole milk I make homemade yogurt, and I always save a couple cups of whole milk out for when I'm baking. So give that a final mix here, and then we'll get it in the oven. 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes, depending on your oven. If you know your oven, you know. All right, pumpkin cake is ready to go in the oven. I'm going to do 350 degrees for 25 to 30 minutes. That's what my oven takes. You bake it according to what you know your oven. All right, and I keep my oven in a little freezer room that my husband built underneath the fifth wheel overhang. This is where I cook all year round, so I'm out of the rain, out of the snow, and it works for us. All right, cake is done. I'm doing a microwave caramel. I'm just going to poke holes all over this cake. Caramel is bubbling. I'm going to stir it, and then it's going to go in for 2 more minutes. This is 1 cup brown sugar, half a cup of heavy whipping cream, and a half a stick of butter. Microwave for 2 minutes, stir, and then it's going to cook for 2 more minutes. Alright, so this is the caramel sauce after 4 minutes. So I cooked it for 2 minutes, stirred, and then cooked for 2 more minutes. Now I'm going to let it cool, and then I'm going to spoon it over my cake. If you had any left over, you could put it in a jar and put it in the fridge, and you can serve it over any dessert, ice cream. It's going to be amazing. Just spoon some caramel sauce over the top of the cake. I poked holes, so I'm just going to let the caramel drizzle in the holes. And after it cools, we'll put on a cream cheese frosting. Alright, now I'm going to make the cream cheese frosting for the cake. We have 1 stick of butter here. One brick of cream cheese. It's room temperature, or a little less than room temperature. Oh my goodness. I have a teaspoon of vanilla, homemade vanilla, and I'm doing a pinch of salt. I'm going to cream the butter and cream cheese together. I'll scrape the sides down. That homemade caramel sauce that I made earlier, I'm just going to pour some. I'm going to measure with my heart on this one, but it should be about 2 tablespoons. Looks pretty good. All right. Most cakes, like carrot cakes and so forth, usually say about 4 cups of cream cheese. I don't like it that sweet, so I start with 2 cups. I will be starting with 2 cups on this. If I do have to add more, it'll only be about a cup, but let's start with this first and see how we like it. Let's see what we got here. Alright, I'll use the back of the spoon here and try a little taste. I think that's pretty good. I think that is sweet enough, so we're going to roll with that. I'll come back when we start frosting the cake.